Good morning. I am Denise Sheeks-Burke, and today's meditation is about fear and faith. Before we do the meditation, I want to talk about fear. I am a therapist. I've been counseling individuals, families, adults, and children for over 20 years. I'm also an amputee. I became an amputee a little over a year ago after I was diagnosed with cancer called synovial sarcoma. When I talk about fear, when any of us talk about fear, it brings up a lot of things and different things for each individual. I can tell you that before I was diagnosed with cancer, my view of fear was very different than it is today. In that most people's fears, and my own included things like fear of failure, fear of making mistakes. Mine were more run-of-the-mill fears. But everybody has some type of fears: fear of losing all their money, fear of not succeeding. But I found that prior to being diagnosed with cancer, my perspective on fear, as I watched, and had counseled so many people that were dealing with issues of fear, that fears can come in so many forms. Fear of leaving the house, fear of driving on the highway, fear of eating alone in a restaurant, fear of traveling alone, fear of never finding a partner. Just fears galore, right? So pretty much everyone can relate to that. And then if somebody is faced with a health crisis, and it becomes a fear of loss of life, of losing your life. And so all I can say is most fears aren't really life or death, but we feel like they are. It can feel overwhelming when you have a fear. And I want to help you today kind of look at those fears and analyze those so that you can begin to peel off some layers of it, and then you don't feel so overwhelmed, so bogged down. Because when you start to free yourself up from fear, then you feel like there's a lot more opportunities, a lot more choices. When we are basking in fear, and I say basking because sometimes people like to bask in it, kind of misery loves company. When you bask in fear, you don't really see many options. In fact, anyone I've ever counseled or talked to as a friend, or myself included, when I'm in a fearful place, really think about how many options you feel you have. Our brains just go to that fight or flight response, and we either flee to avoid the fear, or we freeze. And in freezing, we just see one option, and it's very limited, so it's that doom or gloom. So if you ask anybody in fear, or you've talked to somebody when they're in fear, and you listen to them, and you're thinking, and you've maybe tried to advise them, because they're just on a tangent, like the sky is falling. No, I'm never going to be able to get that car, or I'm never going to get that job. I'm never going to graduate college, or whatever. It's always, it's the doom or gloom. There's only one possible outcome, and it's the worst possible outcome. And that's irrational, right? We all know that. So when you are seeing outside of fear, and you're helping someone else sort through their fears, you can see it. But when you're in your own fear, of course, you can't see it. We just can't. That's where we freeze, and we just, again, see only one option. But here's the truth. The truth, there are unlimited options. And when we restrict ourselves to just one, of course, who wouldn't be afraid if you only have one outcome, one possible outcome, and that's the worst possible outcome? That doesn't feel very good. But if you really think about any fears you've gone through in your life and the actual outcome, the fear was much greater, honestly, than what actually happened generally. Unless somebody creates the outcome that they expected, and that's called self-fulfilling prophecy. But that's a whole nother discussion. So fear. I want to address fear because certainly for me, being diagnosed with a stage 4 cancer, that's now in my lungs. I could beeline for one option, And that option is that it's not going to end well, right? I could just stay focused on that, dread that, fear that, bask in that. And, then am I living? Am I really enjoying what life I have? In addition, we've all heard stories of people diagnosed with cancer defying the odds. And there are always those statistics that do survive and thrive. In addition, whatever life any of us have, I mean, none of us know exactly how long we have. Honestly, whether it's 6 months left, 2 weeks left, 5 years. I mean, if you knew, would you live it differently? I mean, that's one thing a diagnosis like this has really brought me more into the moment, into the present moment, and really made me so much more attentive. And whenever I start to slip out of the present moment again, believe you me, something happens, either, something with, a doctor appointment, or even I've had a couple falls. It kind of brings me right back to the present moment, which is to just really be mindful. To really enjoy every moment. I mean, it sounds cliche, but it's actually true. There's a reason that everybody recites that motto. So, fear. Are you ready to let go of some of your fears? Are you ready to address some of your fears, or are you living in fear? And again, I meet so many people living in fear. They're just, every decision and choice they make is in that fear-based model, either fleeing from situations that scare them or freezing and just doing nothing and letting that fear just wash all over them, and it keeps them from making any decisions or moving forward in life. So really think about your fears, because when you start to shed them, release them, let go of them, be mindful of them, then you're taking control, you're moving through them. And yeah, it's not always an easy trick. I mean, I can tell you that when I first learned how to really public speak, I was terrified. And I remember the first time in college when I was taking a poetry class, and it required us having to speak in front of the class, and I was terrified. And there were a few classes that I definitely I was hesitating cutting class and stood outside the class thinking, can I do this? Can I do this? And then I got through the semester, and I can't say it was easy. And then in my 20s, I pushed myself more for some teaching opportunities, some holistic classes. And then when I was asked to do some public speaking things with youth, I said yes, even though my whole mind, body said no, because my fear was it was there. I mean, I can't deny it, but my mind knew I needed to do that. That the more I said yes, and the more I just kept going into the unknown, and just doing it, that I would eventually conquer that fear. I knew it. And I lost some sleep those nights before any time that I had to speak, and I had to kind of mask how terrified I was when I was speaking. And I can't say I always did a great job at it, but I did it. I just kept pushing myself to do it, and I got better at it, and it got easier. And I just remember one time when I was teaching a class and thinking, I'm not terrified. It just happened. I'm not terrified. I'm more natural and comfortable. And so I just knew, I knew back when it terrified me to public speak, that I could not let fear control me. I would not allow that. I was in control of that. And so like anything, you just have to keep pushing through until before you know it, you realize you got to the other side of that. And we do that with each fear that you have. And so if you have some things that you've wanted to do, experience, or a passion, whether it's for a career, a job, a new business venture, whatever it is, really what is holding you back? Because you cannot progress if you stay frozen or you keep fleeing. You can't. So if today you could shed even one fear or illuminate one fear so that you can start to work that through, you'll be far better for it. There'll be a lot of growth. And on the flip side of that, I want to say faith. So fear and faith, that's like you're standing at the top of a cliff, and you want to leap. When you leap, you'll be freer, lighter. You'll have ventured into the unknown, and you didn't let your fears hold you back. You didn't let all those voices and messages in your head, often from society, from friends around you that are projecting their own fears, family, You didn't let that bog you down. And yep, they all looked at you like you're crazy. You're standing at the top of the cliff and you said, I'm going to leave. I'm going to do it. I'm going to start this new business, or I'm going to travel to Europe because I've always wanted to. And sometimes you won't have any cheerleaders because they're all afraid too. Sometimes you'll have some cheerleaders, and guess what? The cheerleaders will be those people who take risks. So be attentive to who's giving you that guidance and advice. So you're standing at the cliff and you say, okay, faith. I have to have faith because I know I can either stay stuck or flee and stand there at the edge of the cliff, shaking, shivering, taking steps back. But how will that make me feel a year from now, 2 years from now? How much have I progressed? Or I can take that leap, jump off the cliff, and trust. So faith gives us hope. We need hope, and we need faith. It helps us in life. It reminds us that there's not just one option. There's infinite options and opportunities. So when we limit ourselves to one, you're really not seeing the big picture. There's always so many more opportunities than we see before us when we take a risk. And the only way to get what we want or get where we want to go is to take those risks, to take that leap off the cliff. So the meditation today is going to be about clearing away fear and allowing faith and hope to take its place. So when you're ready, just get relaxed. Take 3 deep, relaxing breaths, breathing in through your nose and out through your mouth. Just let go of any stress, tension, worry, or doubt. Just let it go. And take a deep, grounding, relaxing breath into your chest. And just really feel that breath expand up to the top of your head and expand down all the way to the bottom of your feet. Each breath, you breathe in a relaxing energy that surrounds you. And with each exhaling breath, let go of any stress, worry, doubt, or fear. Just let it go. Good. Take a deep, relaxing breath into your face, behind your eyes. Exhale any stress, tension, or worry in your face, your head, your scalp. Just let it go. Take a relaxing breath into your neck and shoulders. Take a relaxing breath down your arms to the tips of your fingers. Take a peaceful breath into your chest and your heart and really feel your heartbeat. Tune into it. It brings you into the present moment. Take a deep, relaxing breath into your whole torso, filling your entire torso with a relaxing energy, and exhale any stress or tension that you've been holding on to. Take a cleansing breath into your back, all the way down your spine, into all of your back muscles, your upper, middle, and lower back, and exhale any stress you may have been carrying in your back. Take a relaxing breath into your pelvis and down your legs, through your thighs, your knees, your calves, to the heels of your feet, to the tips of your toes, so that from head to toe now you are more at peace, more relaxed. With every breath you take, you become more relaxed, and with every exhaling breath, you let go of any leftover tension or stress, and you feel very much at peace. I want you to imagine, see, or feel yourself walking toward a waterfall. I'm going to guide you step by step and count backwards from 3 to 1, and you will be at a waterfall. 3, taking a grounding, healing breath. 2, stepping closer to a waterfall. 1, standing next to a waterfall. Really feel the vibration of the waterfall, the energy of it, the mist, the intensity. It could be a waterfall you've been to before or one you've never seen. But you feel the energy of it, the power of it, the cleansing, healing nature of it. It's overwhelming. It's rejuvenating. The waterfall is beautiful. You take it in. You feel very relaxed, but you feel its intensity. Water, cleansing of emotion, but with that intensity, really healing. So just feel that waterfall as you stand next to it. And then when you're ready, because you feel the mist around you, it's just washing away any leftover stress or tension. You allow yourself to stand somewhere in the waterfall. Now you feel the intensity. It's like the most intense shower you've ever felt, but it's soothing at the same time. It just washes away any fears that were projected on you, implanted from others, that you kind of absorbed or took on as your own, but they're not yours. You were influenced. Just let them wash away. Let it go. Wash away any fears you've already worked on in your life and you were just still holding on to remnants. You're ready to let them go. You feel the intensity of the waterfall just washing all over you and through you. Just washing those away. And in the meantime, you allow any fears that you would like to address and start working on become illuminated. You know it's time. And you feel that those fears are now just there, ready to be worked on. Maybe a little bit of them are washed away, but you're ready to do the work. You step back outside of the waterfall, standing next to it, feeling so cleansed, like the best shower you've ever taken, where you just feel so relaxed, at peace. The mist now just gently caressing the outer layers of your skin. You're breathing in the mist and you feel very much at peace, so relaxed. Your mind is freed up beyond all limits of space or time. And you feel grounded. You feel more connected to the earth. You feel your feet on the ground. And you take a grounding breath in, filling yourself from head to toe. And then I'm going to guide you 3 steps back to where we started. 1, very relaxed and at peace. 2, 3, taking a grounding breath. Good. You feel very relaxed and at peace. Every time we do this meditation, you're able to go deeper into a relaxed state. You feel yourself now coming back into your body from head to toe, your fingers and your toes. You take a deep cleansing breath and just exhale, just let go. Because you've let go of fears today. You're acknowledging fears, you're releasing fears, and acknowledging some fears you're ready to work on. Opening your eyes whenever you're ready. Welcome back. Thanks for joining me today for meditation number 3 on fear and faith. I'll see you next time.